Hello everyone, my name is Dzakwan Althof, with study number 162, here presenting my proposal titled Suprasegmental Features in Indonesian EFL Speech, Pronunciation Production and Perceptual Fluency on Stress, Intonation and Rhythm. This presentation later on will likely tell about research questions, research type, participant, source of the data, data collection, data analysis, and the significance of the study. So here is my two research questions. The first is, to what extent do Indonesian suprasegmental features affect the fluency of EFL speakers? And the second, what differential effects do each suprasegmental features such as stress, intonation, and rhythm have on listeners' perceptions of fluency and communicative competence in EFL speech? Well, this study adopts a qualitative case study research type to investigate the interaction between Indonesian suprasegmental features and EFL fluency perceptions. The characteristics of this research are the exploration of linguistic phenomena within their social context and analyzing subjective listener judgments, which require a method that prioritizes contextual understanding over generalization and insights over predetermined hypothesis. Moving to the participant, this study employs two groups who are EFL learners and native speakers. EFL learners consist of 20 Indonesian English literature students, 10 male, 10 female, aged around 19 to 22. These participants are chosen due to their advanced knowledge but have suprasegmental interference patterns detected in their prior studies. Native speaker judges are 5 certified IELTS examiners with linguistics backgrounds. They are selected for their trained ear in assessing phonological features with Shakespearean prosody. And for the source, there are two types of data, and the main data used as the source are speech samples and perceptual assessment. Speech samples are taken from audio recordings of participants and native speakers readings of Act 3, Scene 2 from Romeo and Juliet from Shakespeare in 2020. Perceptual assessments taken after the native raters' written evaluation and scale ratings of learner performances on reading the text. Following the main data, secondary data takes demographic surveys which document the participants' L1 dialect backgrounds. It's like the first language dialect backgrounds, for example, Javanese versus Sundanese phonological systems. And for the data collection, in the first research question, this study used the controlled oral production using standardized reading passage and Pratt software for acoustic analysis, targeting the stress placement accuracy and intonation alignment, which is speech tracks. And for the second research question, this study employs the perceptual judgment task using the 9-point Likert scale rubric and the recall interview for targeting the native the communicative effectiveness perceptions and also having the native listeners' fluency ratings. And for the data collecting procedure, this study firstly has speech production, where the participants read passage after 10-minute preparation, and to take the note, no phonetic coaching in the process. And here also native speakers record model versions under the same condition. And for the second, this study has perceptual assessment, where raters experience 3-hour training on suprasegmental evaluation using sample recordings, blinded evaluation sessions using randomized audio files, and also post-rating interviews, where raters explain the decisions while replaying the selected utterances. And the last, this study has meta-cognitive elicitation, where learners re-listen to the recordings, where conscious stress or intonation strategies applied, and the perceived challenges in Shakespearean prosody are reviewed. And for the data collecting procedure, this study firstly has speech production, where the participants read passage after 10-minute preparation, and to take the note, no phonetic coaching in the process. And here also native speakers record model versions under the same condition. And for the second, this study has perceptual assessment, where raters experience 3-hour training on suprasegmental evaluation using sample recordings, blinded evaluation sessions using randomized audio files, and also post-rating interviews, where raters explain the decisions while replaying the selected utterances. And the last, this study has meta-cognitive elicitation, where learners re-listen to the recordings, where conscious stress or intonation strategies applied, and the perceived challenges in Shakespearean prosody are reviewed. And for the data analysis, this study applies first acoustic analysis, where data focused on stress analysis using measurement of vowel duration ratios. And for the second, this study applies qualitative triangulation, where native rater comments to acoustic measurements. And in the future, the results of this study are expected to give a contribution towards theoretical understanding regarding the suprasegmental transfer in L2 acquisition. By examining the extent and suprasegmental features effects of Indonesian language and communicative competence, this research aims to give empirical evidence about how the first language prosodic patterns interfere or facilitate the second language development. Besides the theoretical understanding, the result of this study is also expected to deliver a valuable practical benefit for language educators, curriculum developers, and also policymakers who are involved in teaching English language in Indonesia and other similar EFL contexts. By acknowledging which suprasegmental features affect the fluency and communicative competence the most, these findings can guide a pronounced instruction design which is targeted to prioritize the stress, intonation, and rhythm according to each of their relative impacts. And maybe that's all about the proposal. My name is Dzakwan Althof. Thank you and have a good day.